Hello everyone. For these videos, we are going to use the laws of logarithms to expand the expression. So we have log of this big chunk and we're going to expand it with different type of logarithms, okay? Having the same base. Notice here that automatically the base will be a number 10, okay? Because it's not given, automatically will be 10. So we have two examples, which are exam questions, and we're going to go through them, okay? And we have some basic laws of logarithms that we're gonna be using. So let's get started. Okay, for our exercise number 1, we have log of a cube root of this expression, okay? We have x plus 2, x power 4, multiplied by x squared plus 4, okay? So notice here that all of this is inside the cubic root, okay? Meaning a root with an index of 3, okay? The first step that we would like to do is to rewrite this radical expression into exponential expression, okay? Because we have a radical, we could actually rewrite it as exponential expression, okay? So notice everything inside, right? We're gonna take it as if it's a power 1, okay? So we have a power 1 here, and then we have an index 3. So we could rewrite it as everything inside of the root as exponential expression. Remember, that power goes on the numerator and the index goes into the denominator. So that's how you rewrite from rational expression to exponential expression. Now, we have a log here. Notice that there's no base given, so automatically our base will be a 10, okay? It's common that you don't write it, so we're gonna leave it as a simply log, okay? Now notice, we have a log of something inside the parentheses with some power, right? Notice, let's go back to our basic laws and notice that our third basic law have something next to log with some power. So we could rewrite it as the power first and then the log of whatever is inside the parentheses. Okay, so let's do that. So this log with this power, we could rewrite it, so we could bring this 1/3 all the way to the front. Okay, that's basic rule number 3. So let's do that. So we could rewrite it as 1/3, and then let's write everything the same. Okay, now without the power, okay? Now this power 1/3 goes into the front here. Now notice here, let's check what's inside of the big parentheses here. We have x plus 2, right? So numerator is dividing these two terms here, the x power 4 and x squared plus 4, okay? So we have a division and a multiplication in the denominator, right? So we know that we're gonna be using basic law number 2, which is a division, right? And a multiplication in the denominator, okay? But first, let's do the big idea here, which is the division, right? All of this is dividing the x power 4 multiplying by x2 plus 4, okay? So let's do the division first. So basically, it's a good idea to start with the division, okay? And remember, right, this 1/3 is basically outside of all of this that we're gonna do. So we're gonna keep it outside of everything that we're gonna do, okay? So let's first apply the division rules of logarithms, okay? We have it in the number 2 here. M will be the numerator and N will be the denominator, right? So if we have something on top, it's gonna be first, and then the bottom, which is N, will be last. So basically is numerator minus the denominator, right? Each one with the log that we have here, the same log, okay? So let's do that. So let's do the 1/3 here outside. So we're gonna use bracket. That means that the 1/3 will be outside of everything that we're gonna do. We're gonna start with log of the numerator. So that means x plus 2 minus the denominator, which is log of the whole denominator, which is x power 4 times x squared plus 4. Okay, and let's close everything, okay, with the bracket, okay? Now, notice here, right? We have log of one term adding another different term, okay? So there's no a basic law that says that we could do anything else because this is plus inside, right? This one we have multiplication, division, and power, right? So this one will remain the same, okay? Now let's go here. Notice we have x power 4 multiplying x squared plus 4. So we have a multiplication inside here. So we have a multiplication here, m is multiplying n. We're going to expand as log m plus log n, okay? The two multiplications are going to be separated and each one will have its own log, okay? So let's do that. So we have 1/3. Let's rewrite log of x plus 2 because that one you cannot expand it anymore. Now, notice here, this is very tricky. We have a minus here. So let's keep this minus for now. And we're gonna work here inside, okay? So we're gonna need like a big parenthesis here, okay? So let's draw it like that so it will be easy to understand, okay? So let's see here. We have this multiplication inside the log with a minus outside of that, right? Notice the two things that are multiplying, right, is x to the power 4 multiplying x squared plus 4, okay? So those are the things that are multiplying, the two terms that are multiplying basically. So we're gonna apply the second law, right? Which is something multiplied by something else. It just become like this, a plus, right? Each one with its own log. So we will have log of x power 4, right? Because that's the first term that is multiplying, plus log of the other term that is multiplying, x squared plus 4. And let's close the big parentheses that we work on for here, and then let's bring the bracket, which is for the 1/3 that is outside. Now, the next step that we want to do is to distribute this negative onto this term and this term, okay? So let's do that. We have 1/3 outside of everything else that we're doing. Let's rewrite x log of x plus 2 minus, so the minus will be distributed of x4, and here minus multiplied by a positive, it's a minus, log of x squared plus 4. And let's close the big bracket. Okay? Now, let's put it here. Now, let's see what other terms that we could apply the basic laws, right? In this one, we cannot do it because there's no law that says that if we have something adding, right, then we could expand it more. No. The second term, notice, we have log of something with a power. If we go back to our third law, we have log of something with some power. So we could rewrite the power first in front of the log and then rewrite the term the same, okay? Except with the exponent, okay? So let's do that. And then this one, there's nothing else to expand, right? Because we have x squared plus 4. This one has a power, right? But we have a plus next to it, so there's nothing else to do, okay? So this one will stay the same, and this one as well. Okay, so let's work on the middle one, right? So we have 1/3 big bracket log of x plus 2 minus, notice here, again, we have a exponent or a power, so we could bring it to the front and rewrite just log with the letter that was with the power. It's up to you that if you want to write parentheses or not, it doesn't really matter. Okay, then minus log of x squared plus 4. And let's close the big bracket right there. Now, the last step is to do the distribution of the number outside of the bracket, which is 1/3. Okay, so we're gonna do the distribution of the 1/3 to every single term. Okay, so let's do that. So notice here, automatically the number in front of the log will be 1, right? So this one is gonna multiply 1/3. We have 4 here, and here automatically will be 1. Okay, so 1/3 multiplied by 1 is simply 1/3. And let's bring the log of x plus 2. Now we have a minus here multiplied by a positive, so that will be minus. And 1/3 multiplied by 4, that will give us 4/3. And let's bring the log x next to it. Minus 1/3 multiplied by 1, simply 1/3. And let's bring log of the x squared plus 4. Okay? And that's the expansion of our example number 1, which was written as a single logarithm, and we expanded into different logarithms. Okay? So that will be our expansion of the single logarithm.